Welcome back to Cake in a Cave, where we don't believe you stop playing games because you get old, but you get old because you stop playing. Today's video takes place on the heel of two recent events. First off, WrestleMania 42 having just taken place here in beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. The other event is the recent passing of legendary game developer Yoshihisa Kishamoto. Now, even if you don't recognize the name, you definitely recognize the works of Kishamoto. Beginning with Renegade in the mid-80s, leading to the birth of the beat-em-up scroller, Double Dragon. Without his work and his blueprint for beat-em-up games of the arcades, it would have never taken us to games such as Streets of Rage, Golden Axe, Final Fight, and literally every Capcom brawler ever made. On a recent podcast, we looked at some of the history of the games that Kishamoto was responsible for, and surprisingly on the list were two wrestling games, WWF Superstars and WWF WRESTLEFEST. And now knowing that fact, I wanted to go back and play both games thoroughly, and in doing so, it made me realize how much the Kishamoto and Double Dragon influence was present in both these games. The first of these two games to be released was WWF Superstars in 1989. On the surface, it's a wrestling game featuring 8 of the most popular stars of WWF at the time. This included Hulk Hogan, The Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man Randy Savage, The Big Boss Man, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, oh yeah, and the Honky Tonk Man. I guess he's there too. Every match is a tag team match made up of 2 wrestlers of your choosing, the ultimate goal being to reach the final match against the real-life dream team of the Megabucks, featuring the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase and Fezzik himself, Andre the Giant.
I'm on the Blood Squad.
Each wrestler has a limited number of basic moves, albeit with slightly different animations, damage, and sound effects, along with being able to do their own special finisher moves. But if you think about the influence behind this game, you'll notice it often looks like you're playing a wrestling-themed version of Double Dragon. Kishamoto's design style for his games, the constant pressure being thrown at you, aggressive enemies, and that continual forward momentum, where opponents keep tracking and moving directly at you, it's present throughout all of Superstars gameplay. The sprites too have a very Techno's Double Dragon style to them, a little bit squared off with stiff movements and limited frames of animation. Characters like Macho Man Randy Savage and everybody's favorite Honky Tonk look like they'd be perfect enemies approaching Billy and Jimmy on the streets of Double Dragon. Now, this isn't to say that each wrestler isn't immediately recognizable. The animation for each of the wrestlers' special moves is well showcased in its 16-bit form. From the Ultimate Warrior's power press to Hulk Hogan's big leg drop, you can tell that the creators took enough time and effort to make the animations model their character counterparts accurately. I actually love the little detail of the Big Boss Man's eyebrow going up and down as he approaches you, or when he tries to pin you with just one hand. Beyond punches and kicks, the game features more wrestling-specific moves, obviously, including being able to fly off the top rope, tossing your enemies out of the ring, beating them with a random table just laying on the ground, or even to launch yourself out of the ring only to come crashing down on someone's skull, causing additional damage. Each member of your tag team has their own health bar, and you can tag each other in and out at will. This allows you to keep your freshest wrestler in the ring to avoid a pinfall. Now, as for your opponents, you'll have to keep a good mental track of how much damage you feel you're doing, as there's no easy indicator of their health at any time. Your inactive partner isn't totally useless, as they'll automatically jump off the apron to help you fight when outside the ring, occasionally grab your opponent from behind the ropes if they get too close, or run in to assist and break up a pin attempt. Well, at least most of the time. The computer seems to know when you have absolutely no chance of kicking out, which is actually when you would need them the most, because they'll end up just standing there and watch you get pinned for the 3 count. As you win matches, your opponents become more resilient, and even a simple 3-move set can decimate your health instantly. You're also up against a time limit for each match. This is roughly 4 to 5 minutes of real time, and failing to pin your opponent within that time is an instant loss for you. To add insult to injury, winning a match does not refill your health bar whatsoever. If you barely scrape by with a win in your last match, be prepared to battle your next 2 opponents starting with the exact same health you just finished off with. If it seems unfair, just remember the roots of this game. Beat-em-ups were designed to be quarter munchers, and Superstars is no different. But that means it also retains the weak point of all beat-em-up games: the mighty quarter. No amount of overpowered enemies or unfair gameplay can beat a child with a pile of quarters in his pocket burning a hole. And if you want to become the champion and even defend your belts in a foreign country, you're going to be reaching for quarters a lot. During a match, you can use a credit to recharge your wrestler's energy and reset the clock back to 30 minutes. That means as long as you have quarters in your pocket, you basically have unlimited time and unlimited energy. And yes, I guess there is something ironic about being able to buy your way to a championship against the $1 Million Man. I guess everybody does have a price, and in this case, it's roughly 2 weeks' allowance. The final match between Ted DiBiase and Andre the Giant is one for the ages, featuring wrestler-specific moves that Andre is well known for, such as slapping your right to the ground and slamming your head into his knee. It's going to be a tough fight, costing you a lot of quarters, but in the end, you're treated to Mean Gene celebrating along with a rather flirtatious look from Miss Elizabeth. So while Superstars was a great first attempt at trying to bring the over-the-top shenanigans of wrestling to the arcade, in 1991, Technos upped the game and released WWF WRESTLEFEST, which feels more like the full wrestling experience rather than a beat-em-up, and it's become one of the most popular arcade wrestling games of all time. Compared to Superstars, the WrestleFest roster of characters is expanded from 6 to 12, and the overall presentation gets a decent upgrade too, with larger sprites, smoother animation, match intros, and some questionable voice work.
Now go for the next match.
It also gives the option of 2 different gameplay modes. The original Tag Team Championship mode, with the end bosses being Hawk and Animal of the Legion of Doom. And there's also the Royal Rumble Battle Royal? Alright, more on that one in a second. WrestleFest features a little more television production-like quality to the game presentation. Tag matches are supposed to be taking place on an episode of Saturday Night's Main Event, a WWF show that originally ended in 1992, came back for 2 more years between 2006 and 2008, and recently returned in 2024. In addition, the announcer calls out various wrestler names and moves being performed in real time, and the Legion of Doom will taunt you in between matches. Although who on earth thought this was the best representation of the voices of Hawk and Animal?
You failed! Every gerbil face thinks we fake! Yeah!
Every so often, a match will take place in a steel cage, but other than blocking you from being able to fight outside the ring, the only real difference is that throwing your opponents into the ropes will cause them to be knocked to the ground by the steel cage itself. Overall, it's a serious improvement to the first game, although the original is not without its own charm. And if you're a Honky Tonk fan, I guess where else you can get your fix? Before we go deeper into the updates about the gameplay and different modes, let's talk about one of the things that really is hard about getting older as a gamer. It's been over 35 years since both of these games released, and as time goes on, it's hard not to look back on something that gave you good memories and had familiar faces, and not find yourself doing something like this. Macho Man, dead. Hogan, dead. Warrior, dead. Big Boss Man, dead. Andre, dead. Virgil, dead. Mr. Perfect, dead. Earthquake, dead. Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, both dead. Crush, dead. And Mean Gene, dead. Between the 2 games, there are 18 different WWF personalities, 12 of them no longer with us. That's 67% of the roster, and my childhood, gone. It's a stark reminder that we really need to appreciate who and what we have, because like that clock on the bottom of the screen, time winds down faster than we expect it to. Okay, but now back to fun cartoon-like violence. Each wrestler has been given a larger set of moves, more character-specific details, and faster animations. The in-ring action in the tag team matches allows all 4 wrestlers to spend some extended time together fighting each other all at once. And the ref kind of stands there, clearly having lost control of the match. There are additional visual clues to your current wrestler's state, such as them moving slowly and looking like they got a little tummy ache. Your inactive partner also gets a little more involved at times, still grabbing your opponent from behind, but occasionally coming into the ring to hold him down in place while you lay the smackdown. When they've been patiently waiting for a tag for a little while, their health bar will flash with the words "Power Up," indicating they're about to win every grapple and deliver a double boost of damage, so timing your tags to bring them into the ring can make a serious difference in how much damage you can put on the CPU. Submission moves are now available as well, including the Sleeper, the Boston Crab, and the Figure 4. This can lead to multiple ways to win a match, although most of the time, it's going to require a pinfall to take the victory, or the occasional sneaky countout. It takes 4 or 5 matches to reach the championship contest, something the arcade owner was able to adjust as they wanted. But finally defeating Legion of Doom results in Digital Mean Gene getting very excited over the still shot of your 2 championship wrestlers on a clearly digitized crowd shot. The game then continues with more random matches, but unlike Superstars, there's no further venue change to fight in and no Miss Elizabeth to congratulate you. Miss Elizabeth. We lost her too. Even with the upgrades and improvements, there are a few minor steps backwards I feel in WrestleFest. Going in and out of the ring is no longer a smooth transition. The screen does a hard cut to the outside whenever a wrestler exits the ring, and the other wrestlers instantly reset to and from their positions when the screen changes. This jarring effect kind of takes away from the otherwise smoothness of the action. In Superstars, being too close to the left of the ring could unexpectedly tag your partner in midway through throwing a flurry of punches. In WrestleFest, you have to maneuver yourself nearly pixel perfect into the corner before you can perform a tag. This can be frustrating when you need that quick change out, and my solution would have required something like both attack buttons to be pressed in the corner to trigger that tag, but I'm just a YouTuber, not really a good one, so what do I know? Finally, with the increased 4-wrestler action in the ring, you can't stop your partner from getting himself hurt, and the damage they take now reduces their energy levels as well. You can find your partner fairly run down before you even get a chance to bring them into the action. And of course, health is still at a premium, recovery is minimal, and the AI can turn a match around in just seconds. Just like before, if you want to see everything this game has to offer, you're probably going to need a steady supply of quarters. This is especially true when it comes to the Royal Rumble match. Now let's talk about this for a moment. In a normal Rumble match, wrestlers are eliminated by being tossed over the top rope. This is a modified Battle Royal featuring over-the-top rules of a Royal Rumble, but also allowing you to pin your opponents. It's more of a hybrid 6-man Battle Royal with a different wrestler coming in every time one person is eliminated until all 12 wrestlers have been in the ring. Since it's easier to pin your opponent than throw them out of the ring, it can lead to moments like this awkward one when there were just 4 of us left in the match. Like the tag team match, you'll have the same 30-minute time limit in which to win. Personally, I see no way through normal gameplay you'd be able to eliminate 11, but I'm just a YouTuber, not really a good one, other wrestlers, without putting a pile of quarters into the machine. But no matter how many quarters you've put in, one quick toss out of the ring will end your entire game. I'm actually surprised they didn't give you the option to continue the game using another wrestler who hadn't made an appearance yet. The biggest difference is that after playing both games back to back, WrestleFest actually feels like, with a decent strategy, it could be beatable. I also want to add that I love in the intro, they give you a wrestler's bio with their actual birthday for some reason. And I love that the $1 Million Man is from seasonal residences. Forget you money, I want to have seasonal residences money. So that's a quick trip down Know Your Role Boulevard, having turned right on Jabroni Drive, and taking us right into the smackdown of the only 2 WWF wrestling games ever released in the arcades. Okay, there is a third, but no, let's just stick with the memories of 2 of the best wrestling games that we were ever graced with from one of the most legendary game designers. So what you gonna do when 2 of the best wrestling games ever, with Hulkamania from Kishamoto, run wild on you? You're gonna like and subscribe, that's what you're gonna do.